So we are discussing from Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 3, text number 14. In text number 13, we have discussed a person who does not offer his food to the Supreme Lord and accepts the remnants, he is only eating sin. So now in 3.14, we are getting to know the cyclic arrangement of yajna. Are you able to understand the theme? What is a cycle? Cycle समझ रहा है? So that is there. I just give the theme, then you will understand the shloka very easily. Annad bhavanti bhutani. The living entities subsist on grains. Okay, put grains in one part of the center circle. Parjanyad anna sambhava. By clouds, parjanya means clouds. By the clouds, the grains are produced. Okay, so from grains, from clouds, grains are there. From grains, the living entities subsist. Yagyat bhavati parjanyo. And the living entities perform yagya, which cause clouds. And yagya is born from karma, from our activities. Are able to? I should have make a chart. लेकिन कुछ समझ रहे हैं चार्ट? The grains will maintain the living entities, the human beings. The human beings will do yagya. Yagya basically no, I would say the grains will maintain the human beings. Human beings will do some activities. Now it is okay, which is called karma. As per Varnashram, activities will give rise to yagya when they are offered to Krishna. Yagya will give rise to clouds, and clouds will give rise to grains. Is it clear what I'm trying to say? And if this cycle is broken, we will have trouble. Now we can say, yes, I can break the cycle very easily. I can have water from my bore well. I can have water from my bore well. Is it not, Shashikant Prabhu? You can have water from the bore well. Shashikant Prabhu may say, yes, I don't need clouds. Do you not need clouds? Yes, we need clouds, because from where do the water in the ground will come? By the clouds only. Make sense? Are you able to follow the cycle? Rainwater, yeah, clouds. So grains, human beings will do activities. Activities offered to Vishnu is called yagya. Yagya will give rise to clouds, and then clouds will again give grains, and like this. So this is how we can very easily prosper and maintain ourselves through the performance of yagya. Is that very easy? Okay. So please chant after me. Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 3, text number 14. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhavah yagyad bhavati parjanyo yagyah karma samudbhavah अन्नाद भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्न संभवः यज्ञाद भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः अन्नाद भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यात् अन्न संभवः यज्ञात् भवति स्पर्जन्यो यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः. This chant, somebody want to chant? अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यात् अन्न संभवः यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यो Yagyah karma samudbhavah. So I think this shloka will be very easy to understand. Without even going into the word meanings, you can understand. Annad bhavanti bhutani. From the grains, the human beings and the living entities are maintained. We subsist on grains. Very easy. Parjanyad anna sambhavah. Parjanya means clouds, the rainwater, which comes from the clouds. By that the grains become possible. Sambhav, you understand? Possible. Sambhava, from that you can understand. The words which you know, they may be a little bit transformed in Sanskrit, but if you know the meaning of the root word, then you can pick up the Sanskrit. Parjanyad, from the clouds, from the rainwater. Anna, Sambhava. The grains cannot happen without rains. And how does the rains happen? Yagyad bhavati parjanyo. So you see parjanya you saw here, and then parjanyo. You may not understand what exactly it means Sanskrit in terms in Sanskrit, but you can get a feel of it. By yagyas bhavati happens parjanya means clouds. By performance of yagya, clouds are happening. Now, what is the relationship? By yagyas, the demigods are getting their share, and the demigods are in charge of the clouds. We are not in charge of the clouds. Make sense? And how the yagyas are born? Yagya karma samudbhava. Udbhav. Udbhav, you understand? Manifest. Arise. Samudbhav means nicely arising. So yagya karma samudbhava means the yagyas are born from karma, from actions. What are the actions in a technical way? Actions prescribed as per Varna and Ashram. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. So all of them have prescribed actions as per the Supreme Lord through the Vedas. And when they perform those activities and then offer to Vishnu or to the demigods, and depending on what person is there, through the demigods also that can be offered to the Vishnu, offered to Vishnu. So then they get material necessities. Now you know that why we need all those things, so that we can have a healthy body by which we can again perform sacrifices and we get purified. This we have been learning since few days. All living bodies subsist on food grains, which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yagya, sacrifice, and yagya is born of prescribed duties. S कहाँ से आ गया इसमें? Gita Bhushan commentary. After the Supreme Lord, master of the progeny, created the progeny, he created sacrifice for their sustenance. If you remember, Sahayagya Pura Srishta Purovacha Prajapati Anena Prasavishuddham Eshavo Dhishta Kamadhuk. We have heard this sloka in this chapter only, that in the beginning of creation, the Lord of all beings created the beings, that means the human beings and the demigods, and gave them a performance of sacrifice by which you will become prosperous. You remember this? The human beings will do yagyas, the demigods will get their share, and then in turn they will reward the human beings. You know this point. That's what Prabhupada is saying. One who is obedient to the Lord must perform sacrifice. With this intention, the Lord speaks 2 verses. So we'll discuss one. Now, this is something very interesting, because Lord has told us that by sacrifice we will become prosperous materially, and we also advance in the path of liberation, towards liberation. A person who is doing it, he's a good child. कुछ समझ में आ रहा है? He is following the instruction of the Supreme Lord, and in that way he gets the mercy of the Supreme Lord. This is an extremely important point for us to understand. If we want to get the mercy of the Supreme Lord, it is not simply sufficient to beg, but to also act so that the Supreme Lord be pleased with us and award his mercy to us. कुछ समझ में आ रहा है? I may beg, Krishna, engage me in your service, and then don't do service. Then what I want to do? So chanting Hare Krishna is the highest sacrifice. Krishna has given that. So we have to do that. Krishna is telling us, take prasadam. Is from Bhagavad Gita are we learning this? Yesterday's shloka we discussed that. Yesterday or day before yesterday. Yeah. So when we are following the instruction of the Lord, that is an expression of our love for the Lord. Yes. What is the point? Krishna is the original spiritual master, and if we don't follow the instruction, then what is the point of accepting the spiritual master? If we don't worry about our likeness and dislikeness and see what the spiritual master wants us to do, he doesn't want us to do something outrageous, isn't it? Just serve Krishna properly. That much is wanted, and that's what Krishna also wants. So now, then we very easily get the mercy. Rather, the mercy is when it is being told to us how to serve Krishna. जब बताया जा रहा है कि ऐसे भजन करो तो यही कृपा है. There is no a separate mercy, if you actually think about it. If he's told you chant like this, you offer your food like this, you do like this is mercy. I'm not speaking on my own. Srila Prabhupada explains this. What is Bhakti Lata Beach? The methods of devotional service. Any spiritual teacher will teach us how to render service to Krishna and what consciousness, with what awareness, in by what method Krishna will be pleased by our devotional service. That is mercy. कुछ समझ में आ रहा है? कृपा दे दीजिए, blessings. It doesn't work like that. We have to work. So that's the Lord is speaking here also. You perform sacrifice and all your material things will be provided for. Even yesterday I was hearing, and I wanted to discuss, that was really funny, how that Mahaprabhu went to that sannyasi who was having a wife, and then he benedicted Mahaprabhu, said, may you have nice wife and wealth and everything. Then Mahaprabhu says, why are you benedicting my like this? You should give me the award of bhakti. Then he say, oh, Kali Yuga has really definitely come. Now this small child is giving me instruction. What will you do without food? What will your bhakti do? That the sannyasi will do. If you have nothing to eat, then Mahaprabhu himself says, not himself, he says, everybody gets his quota by his karma. I have little neck pain. I prayed for it, is it not? Milind Prabhu had a, what is it? Back pain. You prayed to Krishna. Krishna, I have absorbed this Ekadashi so that I may get a back pain. Mataji had a fever. You also had like leg pain. Is it not? We are praying to Krishna. Chata hai. We don't pray for material miseries. They come on their own without any effort. Is it not? Aata hai ki nahi? So material necessities will also be provided. We have to understand this. In what context? We have to minimize our material endeavors and maximize our spiritual endeavors if we are actually intelligent. But we will not dilate much on this. But what I just wanted to say, when we perform sacrifice, we are pleasing Krishna. We are becoming obedient because that's what he wants us to do. By this, we will be materially happy and we'll also progress in our spiritual consciousness. That's what I wanted to say. I did just get a little bit sidetracked. Living entities or bhutani arise from food such as rice, for the food transforms into semen and blood, which in turn nourishes the body. How this is, oh, very good, very good. Food arises from rain, parjanyat. Rain arises from sacrifice. It is said, Agnau prastha hoti samyak adityam upatishrate aditya jayate vrishtir annam tataha praja. The oblations offered in the fire goes to the sun. ये कैसे हो रहा है? Don't try to understand. When you offer something here, it goes to sun. I don't see. You don't see many things and we don't understand many things. But this is the Vedic process. Rain arises from the sun. I don't think you have to explain this. Geography padhe honge itna. From rain arises food and from food arises the progeny, manusmriti. Something I want to tell, which is normally we don't discuss in the class, but since all are, at least I can see only the boys here, so I can talk about it also. I'm not going to see the Zoom audience right now. Why brahmacharyas need to be followed? Let us go forward about this. When we eat, the food is transformed. It's mentioned that 40 kgs of food makes some 1 kg of blood or something like that. Something like as per Ayurveda. And 1 kg of blood makes 1 drop of semen. It is such a powerful, element of our body. And if we don't conserve it, we become weak. Even weak to become a grahastha. And grahastha life also does not mean that we enjoy sense gratification like anything. It's like draining our own blood. How many of us have given blood in our life as donation? Okay, 1%, 2. Others not, and we don't plan to. But we are spending our blood if we waste our semen in that way, unnecessarily. It should be only used for procreating Krishna conscious children, only in grahastha life. Human life is not meant for bhoga, because the sense enjoyment can give us only a little happiness. What a man enjoys, the happiness he gets by enjoying a woman or whatever, so-called enjoyment, same a pig also gets. This may appear to be very hard to us, but it's not my words, these are Rishabdev's words. Same happiness. What is it? Vishaya sarva khalu sarvata syat. This sense enjoyment is in every species of life. But the experience of chanting Hare Krishna, the bliss of chanting Hare Krishna is not available to monkeys and what any other. So that's why human life is meant for tapasya. And I must encourage you with this. Just we should purify our heart, then it is no longer tapasya. Your sister asked me, I have some, what is it, fever, or other devotees might get infected. Should I come for Mangalarti? Why she had this question? Because it's not a tapasya for her to come Mangalarti. She can't stop coming from Mangalarti. Makes sense to you? In the beginning, maybe some difficulty in waking up early in the morning. Is it not? Both of you had trouble. But now, if you don't wake up for Mangalarti, is misery. वो ज़्यादा बड़ी तपस्या है. Is it not? I try it tomorrow if you want to. Would you like to try? No, no, भैया माफ करो. We don't want to try that. Is it not, Amarnath Prabhu? It's blissful to wake up at 3 a.m. Is it not? And chant Hare Krishna. So that when we get higher, what to say, taste for all those things, we just naturally give up and minimize these lower taste things. There is no taste actually; it's an illusion. There is this we cannot. You may be saying I am blah. This is a fact. In earlier life, also Grahastha life, people used to follow four regulative principles normally in India. It was not a life of sense enjoyment. Make sense to you? And otherwise we waste our energy, then we will not be determined to do bhakti. It may appear all those things will be heavy, but you may accept it or reject it, but this is how it's a fact is. People are not having settled intelligence, people are not able to grasp spiritual matter, subject matter, because they absorb are too much into sense gratification. Prabhupada says, these are Prabhupada's words, the firm determination to do bhakti is not arising in a person who is into too much sense enjoyment. I am not saying that he cannot do bhakti, but for him to do steady bhakti will be difficult. Too much sex life. These are Prabhupada's words. So everybody should be very, very cautious about it. This is my rarest of the rarest chance to go back to Godhead. I mean, obviously you will get next life also because you took prasadam. But let me give my full effort. I'm just speaking on this point that how food transforms into energy, and that energy has to be conserved to serve Krishna. Even in Grahastha life. Purport. Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan, a great commentator on the Bhagavad Gita, writes as follows. Ye indradi angatas angatayavastititam yagyah sarveshwaram Vishnum abhyarch tat chesham ashnanti tena tad deha yatram sampadyanti te santah sarveshwarasya yagyah purushasya bhaktah sarvakil vishayar anadi kal vivriddhair आत्मानुभव प्रति बंधकर निखिलय पापैर विमुच्यन्ते. Srila Prabhupada is quoting the previous shloka's commentary, 3.13's commentary in 3.14, because this commentary was not mentioning these points. The Supreme Lord, who is known as the Yajna Purusha, or the personal beneficiary of all sacrifices, is the master of all the demigods who serve him as the different limbs of the body serve the whole. Demigods like Indra, Chandra and Varuna are appointed officers who manage material affairs, and the Vedas direct sacrifices to satisfy these demigods so that they may be pleased to supply air, light and water sufficiently to produce food grains. When Lord Krishna is worshipped, the demigods who are different limbs of the Lord are also automatically worshipped. Therefore, there is no separate need to worship the demigods. But don't disrespect the demigods. Hear very carefully. If we disrespect the demigods, then the Lord will not be pleased with us. It's a Vaishnava Prad. If you see a Vaishnu temple, if you see a Shiva temple, Shiva, Durga Ji. No. In the name of exclusiveness, we cannot offer demigods, we cannot offend demigods. This is absolutely disliked by Krishna. They are appointed directors of this material world. They are servants of the Lord. They may have some material desires of controlling this world. You understand? That's why they are demigods. But not all of them are like that. So we should have a very respectful attitude towards demigods. But we know that by serving Krishna or serving Vishnu, all of them are satisfied. Now just reflect upon it a little bit. If you think, how can I nourish my nose? How can I nourish my ears? How can I nourish my brain and my legs and my nails and all those things? For our own body, can you remember all the bodily parts? First of all, answer this question. No. And can we separately satisfy them? That also is not possible. Now, do we know how our food gets digested? No, that also we don't know. So those things are very clear. But we know one thing, if we put food in the stomach through the mouth, the stomach will take care of all our bodily parts. बहुत सिंपल है, अगर आप मनन करेंगे तो बहुत क्लियर समझे. See, the examples we hear from Shastra so many times. But if you reflect, manan, meditate upon them, then you understand why that example is given to the depth of your heart. Once you serve Krishna, you chant Krishna's name, which is the highest yajna, Krishna himself says. You don't have to worry about other demigods. They will not be angry with you. Krishna himself will give their all, whatever their shares are, because this devotee is chanting Hare Krishna. Makes sense to you? You offer food to Krishna, all the demigods get their shares. You don't have to worry about it. कुछ समझ रहे हैं? And that's why a devotee naturally will be materially also happy. I am surprised. Our Gopal Prabhu, he does not do practically. He does not do any job. He's well maintained. Our Govind Prabhu is in Grahastha life. I don't see him working like a whatever animal or something like that. He works simply and then he's maintained. Before we go forward, I just want to mention one point which His Holiness Vrindavan Chand Maharaj told me. It's a very interesting point. How we can offer our karma to Krishna. I was discussing with Maharaj and Maharaj said, you see, you cannot give an advice that if a Grahastha is working, then he give you all the money. That doesn't work. That is not possible. The money has to be used for the family members also and for his maintenance also. All the money cannot be given. Some portion has to be given for donation for preaching Krishna's glories, but everything cannot be given. So very beautiful point Maharaj mentioned, and that you hear very carefully. We must give up the attitude of actor. Controller or actor. I am maintaining this family. Controller. I am doing it. No, a person should think, I am Krishna's agent in maintaining this wife and family and all those things. This is very, very, very good. बंधन कर्म का नहीं, बंधन भाव का होता है. That's what Maharaj said very nicely. Is not that the activities bind you, is the attitude which binds us. And that's what we have been learning all throughout in Bhagavad Gita in this chapter. Make sense? Very, very, very deep point Maharaj told. Similarly, Samarpana is not, obviously you can offer your activities, but main thing is offering of your intention or bhav. That Krishna has put me in this situation, I am doing this activity on behalf of Krishna. कुछ समझ रहे हैं बात को? Very, very nice. The thing is, these things can only be understood if we properly do sadhana. These are very subtle points to be understood. Otherwise, we are in too much anxiety. How we will do this, how that will happen. I did not go to the marriage of my own sister. She did not get married now. She got married now. She had 2 kids also. Everything goes, is it not? What if I would have died? So what I'm trying to say, I'm not saying that everybody should join brahmachari ashram or something like that. I'm just saying this controllership mentality has to be given. We do our duties responsibly, but we are not controllers. कुछ समझ रहे हैं बात को? So okay, we go forward about this. So what I wanted to say that the demigods need not, the devotee actually, if he starts worshipping demigods separately, that is an impediment in bhakti. So one should not worship demigods. But there's another subtle point. If you go back to your home, unfortunately, and there is demigod worship in which you have to sit, then what will you do? Will you raise a sword? You may sit, but you know that I don't need to worship a demigod. So since you don't have faith in the demigod worship, your bhakti will not get affected. समझ रहे हैं ना मेरी बात? Yes, bro. It's not an offense. Rather, it's an offense if I think, your question is very good. Hear very carefully. If I think that by not worshipping a demigod, I'll get sin, that is an offense to bhakti. Because Krishna himself says, you surrender to me, I'll take care of everything. So that shows lack of faith in Krishna's promise. Point number one. And if I think that by worshipping a demigod, I'll increase my bhakti, that also is wrong, because bhakti can only be increased by bhakti, by nothing else. But respect we should always give. When you see Surya, you say, yes, you can pay obeisances also, no problem. When you go to Lord Shiva's temple, you see them as a Vaishnava and pay your obeisances. Durga ji, pay your obeisances. And say, please bless us with Krishna Bhakti. So that is perfect. समझ रहे ना मेरी बात? But you don't have to separately worship. You have to, rather, if you see Mahaprabhu, he was going to Lord Shiva's temple, Lord Durga's temple and chanting Hare Krishna and dancing. How much Lord Shiva was be pleased? I also use when I have to sit for any pujas at that time, I just start chanting Hare Krishna. Yeah, you can chant Hare Krishna. So if you go to a Shiva temple, you chant Hare Krishna, you get so much blessing. Hanumanji temple, chant Hare Krishna, you'll be so much happy. It is our experience that when we go to bus party in Rajasthan, almost all the time we'll get accommodation in Hanumanji temple only. By Hanumanji's mercy, always. So he likes some brahmachari association also, probably. For this reason, the devotees of the Lord who are in Krishna consciousness offer food to Krishna and then eat, a process which nourishes the body spiritually. By such actions, not only are past sinful reactions in the body vanquished, but the body becomes immunized to all contamination of material nature. Oh, Sundar Baat. One more point I missed is that in the commentary we had explained that food transforms into our body. You picked up this point? So when you take spiritual food, what kind of cells you will have? Spiritual cells. And you will be surprised how bhakti becomes easier if you take prasadam. You will see that. And if you don't take prasadam, there is some complication happening. So see, these things are there. When we keep on taking prasadam, you actually see your face also changes. Everything changes. So this is a science which one has to learn. So put yourself in a situation we can get nice prasadam. You understand what it means practically to you. Don't leave Vrindavan. We have a nice devotee kitchen working now. And our devotee Karnamit Prabhu is very good. When there is, and obviously you can make nice prasadam in your homes also. In this regard, instruction to the Matajis, if your home people are, or home relatives are not devotees, and if you are not sick, then it's best that you cook yourself. Don't expect that they can think in any way the way you are thinking that you are cooking for Krishna. Don't be lazy. Matajis, don't be lazy. Okay. And what to talk of Prabhuji's, like Akash Prabhu, his mother is a devotee, so no problem. And Shashikant Prabhu also has devotees to cook for prasadam for him. This is very important that those who chant Hare Krishna, they cook. Then actually it is prasadam. It's not that workers can cook. So in our devotee kitchen also many devotees are workers are devotees. They chant Hare Krishna, and our main cook is a pure devotee. Wonderful prasadam. This is, I'm again repeating, is don't underestimate this prasadam taking. Okay. So one chant only one round and she can cook. Yeah, if he chant one round also, that also very good. We can encourage them to cook for Krishna. Yeah, fine. 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds, whatever. At least they should be conscious that they don't eat the bhoga, they don't taste it before offering. So at least they should be somewhat conscious that doing it for Krishna. You can't expect, don't expect people who are old. Please, if anybody hears this recording, I'm not against the old people. It's just very difficult for them to learn all the rules and regulations what you are learning in young age, which seems very easy for you. Going to toilet and taking bath, which complicated nahi, it's very easy. But in old age, very difficult to learn new things. So whatever a person can do, that is good for him. A very good point which we should enter in our heart and mind. Whatever transformation a person can have in this life in terms of Krishna consciousness is always absolutely good. Everybody is not ready for full transformation. Are you able to understand? This is a very wonderful way by which you can change our attitude towards others. Are you able to understand? Somebody may not be very enthusiastic about chanting Hare Krishna or things, but he may only take prasadam. Fine. In my ashram, unless a person is a fighter, I just can't tolerate him. He may do less service, more service, and he can, if he can wake up for Mangal Aarti, chant Hare Krishna, I can tolerate. It's not a big thing for me. कुछ समझ में नहीं है, but झगड़ा नहीं करो बस भक्तों से, because in that then we are disturbing other Vaishnavas. If a person starts fighting with devotees, then I have to say that you stay outside. Then what can you do? I mean, you are all good devotees. I'm just saying that you are not like that. But I'm just saying that is at least my standard. But other things, I see that many devotees just can't pick up philosophy. What you can do? They will not come to class, and they will not like to come to class also. Because उसको समझ में, the problem is कि देखो को समझ में नहीं आता है. Then because they don't understand, they can't relish it. But still, they chant Hare Krishna, they take prasadam. Gradually they get purified. Everybody is not same. When there is an epidemic disease, an antiseptic vaccine protects a person from the attack of such an epidemic. Very easy to understand. Corona. Similarly, food offered to Lord Vishnu and then taken by us makes us sufficiently resistant to material affection, and one who is accustomed to this practice is called a devotee of the Lord. Very simple, nothing much to explain. But accustomed means check it. If it is prasadam, then inside. Not, then don't take it. No matter how good it is. And in this regard, कोई संबंध नहीं देखना. Don't see any relationship. Mataji, Pitaji, anybody ji, if they are giving you bhoga, not offered to Krishna, हम नहीं taking. मर जाएंगे और नहीं खाएंगे. I will die, I will not eat. And if you are a dear child, why they will not change? एक दिन नहीं खाएंगे तो देखिए सब लाइन पे आ जाएंगे. Otherwise, just don't go home. आपके घर में भोग लगता है. So you should stop eating. Or you should start cooking. Simple. Cooking is not difficult. If you have to cook for one person, khichdi or rice, dal, what is the difficulty? I mean, one should not glorify oneself, but I think last time I cooked was, I don't know, maybe 5 years, I don't know, 4 years back when I went to Jhansi. Silora mein, I don't know, Silora mein to bahut saal pehle banaya tha, but I remember last time I cooked something was maybe 3 or 4 years back. Yeah, but I went to a devotee's home in Jhansi, and Mataji was not there, so anyhow I had to cook. It was like quite funny, you know, but it came out so nice. I still remember I made some dal and rice and some raita, and it was so nice. We took it in the afternoon also. इतना अच्छा कैसे बन गया, you know? But actually, the only thing is when I cook, I am conscious I'm cooking for Krishna. Many times if you ask others to cook, they are not conscious. Now, when we hear lecture, when we preparing that we know this is all supposed to be done. So then it becomes so tasty. Like Karnamit Prabhu also does like that. When I was making khichdi in the morning also, I was conscious I'm doing it for Krishna, so we keep ourselves clean. Like that. We'll not देखेंगे कि धूप उसमें ना गिर जाए. वो तो ऐसा कोई मैं स्पेशल नहीं हूँ. I'm not special. Any devotee who has some awareness, he will know when he is cooking, how he is supposed to cook. So in this small comment is there in this regard. I am not sure who gave this, either Yudhishthira Maharaj, I think it's Bhishma Dev. He was asked who is happy, so he says one who cooks for himself. Obviously we cannot do. It's we are in the ashram. Why? Because you cook what you like. You cook as per your taste, and you offer to Krishna, and then you like it. It's difficult to cook for this taste, but it's very good if you can cook yourself and offer to Krishna, or at least take prasadam which is cooked by devotees who are aware what they are doing. I can directly see the difference between Karnamit Prabhu's cooking and our previous people's cooking who are actually workers only. You all know, I can also experience this. Therefore, a person in Krishna consciousness who eats only food offered to Krishna can counteract all reactions of past material infections which are impediments to the progress of self-realization. So as your body becomes more and more spiritualized, it becomes easier and easier to practice bhakti. And this one should try to do for 7 years, minimum, and then see how it works. On the other hand, one who does not do so continues to increase the volume of sinful action, and this prepares the next body to resemble hogs and dogs to suffer the resultant reactions of all sins. And Prabhupada is not talking about meat eating. He is not talking about meat eating. He has not mentioned meat eating here. What we become by eating meat with we have to suffer very heavily. Even simply eating grains without offering, which high species Prabhupada has explained here. If we don't offer prasadam, what kind of species we can glide to? Hogs and dogs, very exalted species. I don't know whether you actually look at a dog like this. Have you ever seen a dog? No, no need to answer. You have seen the dog. But try to look at a dog as if few years back he was a human being. Just look at his eyes. I don't know whether you are appreciating what I'm trying to say. You will see a dog was there just when you go back to Goshala. This is a very, every time I see a dog, it hits me that this, just look at his eyes, because those eyes are not different from our eyes much. And you can look through those eyes and see this person is now helpless. Few years back, he might have been a human being. It's very strong. And like a dog comes always to my mother's home, I always say you give him some prasadam. Always, as far as possible, we should give prasadam even to dogs, because next life they will become human beings. This is really funny. Our Pranath Prabhu was in ISKCON Noida, and I was visiting ISKCON Noida that day. So he was telling about another brahmachari. He said one astrologer told him that you were a horse in last life, but you got some Mahaprasad, so that's why now you're a brahmachari. You got a human form of life, and now you're a brahmachari. So actually, it is good that you give them prasadam as far as possible. For distribution of prasadam, actually, we should be generous. People are suffering. So even once somebody has taken prasadam in his life, he will get a human form of life. So Matajis, please serve your parents, even if they are not devotees. You give them prasadam. They might change in this life only, or Prabhujis also. I remember my father was not very much appreciative of me becoming a devotee, but he really liked the khichdi which I made. I still remember one of my cousins, he was like a 6-feeter, like a pahalwan. And he said, I will not eat this khichdi. I don't like this khichdi. And then he ate the whole cooker. He was so happy. I know one more devotee in your, his name is, he used to worship Lord Shiva. He's a yoga, in their base. Ashutosh, or what is his name? I'm not remembering. I think it's Ashutosh. He was very much interested in yoga. So he told me that he went to his home and he made khichdi and offered to Krishna. And then his parents very much appreciated. Oh, very nice khichdi. You also make nice khichdi. You should go, when you go home, you make prasadam for your parents. They feel, first of all, they feel very nice that you are offering some love to them. And that transforms the heart. I'm telling you, my sister does not also still know any philosophy. In that, she's completely dumbo. She's maybe not even know. Hopefully, she will never hear my lecture. But she does not even know she's soul, not the body. But she stands so many, at least 8 rounds, 10 rounds, just because she has affection for me and my mother. Yeah, affection is so powerful. Even if they don't understand philosophy, they will just chant Hare Krishna just because they love you. And they will be benefited. So try that. Make nice prasadam and feed to devotees, your relatives or anybody. As soon as they appreciate, their bhakti has started. Always, anything you appreciate regarding bhakti, katha, kirtan, prasadam, it started. A real bhakti starts when you start appreciating katha, that's a fact. But even if somebody appreciates prasadam, his change. I am seeing for the first time in my life, securities who are standing there. Have you seen they read Prabhupada books? Yes. These securities have been serving here for at least since I have joined, 13 years. They were never reading Prabhupada books. And he's so absorbed, he does not even see who is going and coming. Have you seen? I am having full faith. Is all the prasadam which is coming here, is all the mercy of the prasadam. This is amazing. I mean, I have full faith on this regard. Same security, he was never reading Prabhupada books. One of our security in our Goshala is standing 16 rounds. So this changes a lot. If your devotee offers prasadam to Krishna and praise Krishna, or anybody who takes prasadam, maybe you become your devotee with intention, that intention, you get so much mercy that person gets. So Prabhupada is saying this point, the person becomes, if he does not, then very dangerous. The material world is full of contaminations, and one who is immunized by accepting prasadam of the Lord, food offered to Vishnu, is saved from the attack. whereas one who does not do so becomes subjected to contamination. Food grains or vegetables are factually eatable. So Prabhupada is eliminating meat and all those things. The human being eats different kinds of food grains, vegetables, fruits, etc. And the animals eat the refuse of the food grains and vegetables, grass, plants, etc. Human beings who are accustomed to eating meat and flesh must also depend on the protection of vegetation in order to eat the animals. Therefore, ultimately, we have to depend on the protection of the field and not on the protection of big factories. The field production is due to sufficient rain from the sky, and such rains are controlled by demigods like Indra, sun, moon, etc. And they are all servants of the Lord. The Lord can be satisfied by sacrifices. Therefore, one who cannot perform them will find himself in scarcity. That is the law of nature. Now, this paragraph is very easily understood, but you may object. प्रभु जी साउथ अफ्रीका में तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. इन साउथ अफ्रीका दे आर नॉट डूइंग एनी यज्ञ एंड दे आर हैविंग लॉट ऑफ प्रॉस्पेरिटी. हैव यू हर्ड दैट दे हैड अ हेवी वाटर क्राइसिस? आई डोंट नो हाउ दे रिजॉल्व्ड इट, बट वेदर इज रिजॉल्व्ड और नॉट. एंड देन यू मे से प्रभु जी अमेरिका में तो कुछ नहीं होता है. अमेरिका में दे आर नॉट डूइंग एनी सैक्रिफाइस, दे आर हैप्पी. नो, एल नीनो, heavy, what is that, disasters, hurricanes, so many things are coming. I heard from my Guru Maharaj in California, is whole California or Los Angeles, is California is sinking. Now what you can do? Very, very amazing and beautiful point told by His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. He was saying that America waged a full-on war against Iraq, I believe. Iraq or whom? That when they had this twin towers were bombed? Iraq, is it not? Some 5,000 people were killed. Fine. Now, when Mother Nature is punishing, and she sends that hurricane, hurricane is better than, instead of saying hurricane, whatever is hurricane is better. Hurricane, you understand? So Hari is coming. Hurricane. Then what you do? Thousands upon thousands of people are killed in front of your eyes, my dear President. What you are going to do now? Understand? So when a person does not do sacrifice, these disasters will come more and more. We know that. Krishna Bahuliya Jiva Nadir Bahirmukh Atev Maya De Tar Sansar. Because the living entity is forgetful of the Lord, he becomes more and more inflicted by various miseries by the living material nature. You must be feeling in your own life, we may also have some pains and pleasures, but we remain so happy and peaceful. I mean, I also had some ear pain and some neck pain, but we don't become miserable. Not really, we don't really become miserable. And most importantly, we are not envious. That I am very happy. I went to the doctor, I saw a big, very big mansion. And then I was thinking, well, this fellow, does he have any taste for chanting? And then he has a big headache to maintain his mansion. So you see, the good part of Krishna consciousness is that you become free from envy. People are getting material things. Arey to hamare paas Hari Naam hai na. We are happy with chanting Hari Naam. That's what it is. Is it not? Do you feel people are having big houses and you should also have big house like this? What amazing liberation, is it not? Or people have hairs and we don't have hairs. We don't feel like that, is it not? Think about it, what kind of liberation it is. It's a very great misery on our consciousness. So anyways, a person will always be in scarcity if he's not performing yajna. And even if he has material things, he will be still miserable. Yajna, specifically the Sankirtan Yajna prescribed for this age, must therefore be performed to save us at least from the scarcity of food supply. Now, how does Srila Prabhupada put it? Very nicely. You may not chant Hare Krishna to get love of God. That's what he want to say. Are khana to milega. At least you will get food. Now, you see why Prabhupada is saying like this? So that people at least will chant Hare Krishna to get sufficient material facilities. Obviously, when we chant Hare Krishna, then they will also get pure consciousness. Yesterday also this point was mentioned. Mention means I was reading in Chetan Bhagavad. It's mentioned if you take bath in Ganga or chant Harinam, you'll get wealth. But what happens is when a person does it with those reasons, because he's coming in contact with Ganga, Mother Ganga or Harinam, he will also get purified. Ramakrishna Prabhu, who chants 3 lakh names, really funny. Somebody told me, Are, you have been chanting so much, ab tak to crorepati ho gaye hote. You must have become a billionaire by now. Then he was looking at that fellow's face. I am not chanting Hare Krishna to become billionaire. What will I do with the billionaire things? Is it not? Billions of rupees. So what I'm trying to say is some people have this conception by chanting Hare Krishna, I will get money, which is actually a fact. Then you will say, why I am not getting much money? Because I don't want it. कुछ समझ में आ रहा है? आपको पैसे की इच्छा है? यहाँ तो यही बोलेंगे. If you want money, this is a fact. If you actually desire money and you chant Hare Krishna, you will get money. But then, love of God will get displaced. Be very careful. So, because we hear Siddhanta, we chant Hare Krishna to get purification of our heart, so that we can advance in spiritual consciousness. So, Krishna does not give us unnecessary money by which we get bewildered. But it's a fact. One of our devotees became an IAS officer from IIT Kanpur. But he's not chanting Hare Krishna now. At least whatever was the last report. So people with little bit bhakti only, they can get a lot of wealth and all those things. But a devotee understands these things are not making me happy. So he doesn't want that. But even if a person wants that, still he should chant Hare Krishna. Please hear very carefully. I am not telling you to chant Hare Krishna to get money. If a person wants it, still he should chant Hare Krishna. That is the best here. Hear very carefully what I'm trying to say. Okay. Last month. I don't know what is the meaning of last month. You cooked at my house from, no. I went to Jhansi afterwards. Khichdi halwa, okay. Oh, these people are just making cracking jokes. Rascal number 1. Okay, don't crack jokes. You just ask some questions. So, okay, we learned something about prasadam. So now we will just, yes, yeah, what to say?
You mentioned like we should not beg for mercy. We should act also. But how can we act?
See, the point is, I am saying, Krishna, give me mercy, give me mercy. Krishna is saying, you chant Hare Krishna. Oh, that I cannot do. What is the point? Ene chhe aushadhi maya nasibara lage hari nama mahamantra loy tumi mage. Mahaprabhu is bringing this holy name from Goloka and is giving it to us. Now it is up to us to chant Hare Krishna. कुछ समझ आ रहा है? We must beg for mercy, definitely, but we must also act in the way so that we get mercy. We serve the Vaishnava. Suppose Krishna, please give me love of God, and then I slap a Vaishnava. What love of God I'll get? I'm just putting it more in a bad way, but if you fight with devotees, how Krishna will be pleased? Krishna is not pleased. Or if we disrespect anyone for that matter, Krishna is not pleased. So mercy comes when we do something to please the Supreme Lord. Special mercy we are talking about. Otherwise, general mercy of feeding us is anyhow there. समझ रहे ना कुछ बात? We must every day beg for mercy, but also render devotional service in a way which will please the Vaishnavas, which will please Krishna. Then Krishna will be very happy to give us our mercy. Krishna देख रहे हैं कि हमें कितना चाहता है. Krishna is seeing our eagerness to attain his lotus feet. And that is eagerness shown by our eagerness to come for Mangal Arati. I mean, with that attitude, you are doing the okay, what you could do. See, this attitude comes when we don't hear. If you actually hear sufficiently, we become so enthusiastic. I give you one small quotation from Shastra. Even if just to show to others, a person pays obeisances to Krishna, Krishna destroys his 100 lifetimes of sin. Krishna is so generous. दूसरों को दिखाने के लिए. Just see. Try to pay obeisances to Krishna. You can try now also. Pay full for Prabhuji's. Pay full dandavat, and with that awareness कि भगवान हम आपकी शरण में हैं. Krishna, I am at your shelter. Just do that tomorrow morning, Mangal Aarti, any time. You see that it is very different. So are you able to understand? I know Krishna, I have so many faults, but where I can go? I'm on rascal number 1. Where I can go? You are the most merciful Lord. Please accept me. Please give me intelligence. I was praying to Krishna today and to Nam Prabhu. My Lord, I have offended so many Vaishnavas. I have criticized so many Vaishnavas. I'm kaan pakad raha hu. I will not do that. And please give me intelligence that I should not do that also. 2 things. I'm holding my ears. Please, I'm asking forgiveness. You are so merciful to me. I will not do. But Also give me intelligence so that I should not do in the future also. क्या दिक्कत है? What is the difficulty in becoming humble? कोई दिक्कत है? Somehow it's just simple price of being humble will give us taste for chanting. Simple. Prabhupada's words. If a person is humble, chanting becomes very easy. So you want chanting to become difficult? Nobody wants. Let us start practicing it. I mentioned during the Japa talk, let us try to respect people even if we disagree with them. Just keep quiet. Do you agree? Now you'll keep quiet. because you might disagree with them, but doesn't mean you have to fight with them. Practice it for one day and then see what happens next morning. Just next morning, how it will happen. Then do it for the next day, then do it like this. Amazing. This bhakti is very powerful, especially this tongue. If you can just control our tongue and not offend devotees, our path to back to God, it is fast. I'm repeating this again and again because this is helping me so much. I mean, still I have something, kuch na kuch to nikal hi jata. This is all very powerful. It's a question is, when we talk about respecting living entities, does it mean animals also? Answer is yes. If you hear what Bhagavatam speaks is, you should also pay obeisance to a donkey. Oh, donkey, because Krishna is in his heart. At least if we can't pay obeisances, at least don't give them trouble. Rather, if you actually see, hardly any animal has given you any trouble. Most of the time, we are just out of fun, we throw stones at them and we give them trouble. Is it not? को याद आ रहा है किसी जानवर ने आपको कठिनाई दी हो? Very rarely. उससे ज्यादा कठिनाई तो भाई देता होगा. More than that trouble is given by our parents or brothers and like that. कुत्ता उतना परेशान नहीं करता. But what I'm trying to say that mosquitoes, well, that's a good point. Now I'm selling this. This is a new product. After joining Gomata, I have become a salesman. This is Good Night Naturals Neem Liquid Vaporizer. So it has eucalyptus oil. So it hopefully does not kills the mosquitoes. It just repels them. So you can try that. That is and also you must remember that we cannot completely avoid violence in this material world, but at least minimize it. Okay. So, but this is a very important point, that we become gentlemanly and we don't offend people. Okay. So we shall start. Huh? Okay. Yes, Ruji. The question is, if we ask some people to not worship demigods, is it an offense? No, the Lord Himself says that. But you must remember, what is the consciousness of the persons toward you. If they have faith on you, then they will accept. And Yeshua from Bhagavad Gita, I put it differently. Akash Prabhu's mother was there and his father was there. Father was standing 11 rounds and mother was worshipping Durga Devi. You remember? Akash Prabhu? I put it very nicely. Not nicely in a very simple way. I said, Mataji, your husband is chanting Hare Krishna and you are worshipping Mother Durga. Fine, I have no problem. But suppose both of you die, so then what does Krishna says? Person who chants Hare Krishna will come to me, and person who worship demigods will remain here only. So you choose what you want to do. If Prabhuji goes, your husband goes back to Godhead, and you will remain here only. I don't know if still she is worshipping Durga Ji or not. Akash she is still worshipping Durga Ji, maybe, but she chants Hare Krishna. I believe she chants 16 rounds. Is it not? So kuch to jayega na. I tell you the secret. You just give people option. It is she's standing 16 rounds. It is very difficult to resist an option because we are tatastha. Hear very carefully the secret of preaching. Kishore Prabhu, you are not coming for Mangalarti. Maybe you can try to come for Mangalarti. That is difficult to say no, is it not? Are you catching the point? When you preach, you always give them suggestion. Like I talked to Pranshu. Pranshu, 1 घंटे के लिए तो आ सकते हैं ना? You can come for 1 hour for chat. हाँ हाँ प्रभु जी, I can. If I would have told, hey, आना पड़ेगा तुमको 2 घंटा, वरना प्रभु जी हमारे काम है ये सर. This is very dangerous. That's how Maya preaches to us every day. You are a devotee, but what about that sense gratification? Would you like to have it? Huh? She never forces. If she says, you have to watch a movie, Rudra. Why I'll watch the movie? I'm a devotee, I will not watch. Is it not? You have to watch cricket. No, I will not watch cricket. I'm a devotee. What about that cricket which you really liked? Would you like to? Is it not always? Maya Devi knows always, she always gives us an option. So that's how you should preach. एक माला तो कर सकते हैं ना. You don't tell about not worshipping demigods immediately. Just tell them chant Hare Krishna. आप जो पूजा कर रहे हैं करिए, एक माला तो कर सकते हैं ना. It is very difficult to resist that because we are like that. मेरी बात कैच करेंगे तो preaching becomes very ऐसा. And even if they don't follow, then it's not a problem. You have not given them an instruction which they have violated. You have just given a suggestion. Suggestion is very difficult to avoid. So you suggest to them, if you worship Krishna, explain to them, you worship Krishna, you go back to Krishna, you'll be freed from all these miseries. And if you want to continue to worship demigods, yeah. And Krishna also, hold on, you have to worship very less. You have to worship Krishna very less to get material things. You remember this. We are worshipping so much to get love of God, not to get material things. IIT में तो selection एक माला से ही हो गया था मेरा. Simply by chanting 1 round, I got selected into IIT. So little bit water and he makes you Indra. So for material things, you don't have to worship Krishna that much. To get love of God, we have to worship Krishna heavily, fully. कुछ समझ रहे हैं, ग्रहण कर रहे हैं. Okay, so thank you all very much. Can we do Parayan? I will do Parayan. Those who want to do Parayan with me can do Parayan. I am not going to force